When looking at coastal erosion, there are four main processes to consider. The easy way to try and revise them and remember them is to consider two involve water and two involve rocks and stones. First one, hydraulic action. Think of this simply as the power of water hitting the cliff. Look at something like this. Multiply that by about 100 times and that water will get into the cracks in the rocks, pressurise those rocks and force them apart. Secondly, a lot of the water within the sea is actually slightly acidic. Here's some slightly acidic water, and as you can see, slightly acidic solution. What this then does is react with certain rocks, particularly limestone, which causes that rock to break down very, very slowly. This is known as corrosion or solution. So hydraulic action, the sheer force of the water, solution or corrosion, the acidic nature of the water, will cause the rocks to break down and break apart. The two further types of erosion involve actual stones themselves. Not only does the sea have an enormous amount of water, it almost carries around these type of rocks with it as well. Imagine these being thrown against the cliff face with enormous force. I won't illustrate this on the school wall, but this can do an enormous amount of damage as they're hurled against the cliff face, slowly chipping away at the cliff. This is known as corrasion, sometimes referred to as abrasion, and it's simply the hurling of these rocks by the sea against the cliff. The final type of erosion is how these stones become much smaller stones, a little bit like this one here. These stones, when they're in the sea, rather like a washing machine, round and 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 round, knocking off all the hard edges, turning them into nice, smooth pebbles like this. This is known as attrition, and this is the reason why, when you're sat on the beach, most of the stones you'll find are beautifully smooth, round and small. So the four main types of erosion: hydraulic action, the sheer force of the water against the cliff; corrosion, the acidic solution which attacks particular rocks such as limestone; corrasion, when the rocks themselves are hurled against the cliff face; and finally attrition, the process by which those larger rocks are reduced to nice, smooth, round pebbles.